Hello guys, Dark Paladin X77 here once again with another pay-per-view review. That sounds really weird and it rhymed, but anyways, moving on. For the pre-show, we have El Torito and Diego and Fernando, aka Los Matadores, defeated Hornswoggle, Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre in a TLC match. I still said T. LC match. Anyways, I this match was so completely random, and you know what? It worked out because the actual match itself was random. I'll elaborate more on that. The build up to the match was random, which I didn't, like I said, the reason I didn't make a prediction video is because I wasn't in the loo, I'll say, with WWE for a while. I missed a couple of Raws, and I don't watch SmackDown really at all. So, like, I only watched the Raw after WrestleMania pretty much, so I didn't know what the hell was going on mainly throughout the past couple of weeks, besides watching some skits here and there from YouTube, off the WWE YouTube channel. But anyways, this match was completely random, and like the build up to it, and then the actual match itself was really random. It was I didn't really see the whole match. I saw like the last, like, I don't know, maybe I'd say, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes of it. I don't know, maybe not even 8 minutes. I'd say 7 or 6, one of the two, something along those lines. I actually was actually almost there for the entire match, but like I didn't pay attention to the first couple of minutes. So, anyways, the match itself looked pretty entertaining for the most part. It was hilarious because you have a bunch of midgets everywhere, and it was just kind of funny. I think I actually might rewatch it. There was just a couple of funny spots in it, like El Torito, I think, tricked Hornswoggle off of jumping off a ladder, and then he fell off the little ladder. It was a little baby ladder, and the table was a baby table. I think the chairs were still the same size. I could be wrong. I think they actually did get miniature chairs though too. Yeah, like all the tables and chairs and ladders were all miniature size for midgets, and then like the actual. So there actually was a couple of tables and ladders pulled out that were regular size, in which the regular superstars, which were 3MB, because it was El Torito versus Hornswoggle with Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre. Those three were standing on the outside, but they kept, interrupting in the match because, they were trying to help El Torito and Hornswoggle out. And, like, they all went through a big bunch of tables and ladders at one point, besides all the midgets and stuff. But, yeah, it was a pretty entertaining match, actually. Was it silly? Yes. Was it supposed to be an actual general wrestling match? No, not really. It was just to make people laugh because it was funny. I don't know. What would I give this match out of a 5-star rating? I think I'd maybe give it maybe a 2.5 out of 5. It was just something silly. It's not like a big-time match or anything, but it was entertaining, and hell, it's called WWE World Wrestling Entertainment, so, yeah. Now, the next match, which I didn't actually, I haven't been announcing the times, I'm sorry. The last match, which was the pre-show, went on for 10 minutes and 53 seconds. The next match went on for 12 minutes and 34 seconds, which was the Triple Threat Elimination match. I actually thought this was just a Triple Threat match and not an elimination match, but maybe that got added in there at the last second or something. It was Cesaro with Paul Heyman versus Swagger, Zeb Coulter, and Swagger with Zeb Coulter and Rob Van Dam. I remember when I was a kid, I used to say Rob Dam Van. But anyways, I just would say his name so fast that I'd mix up the words in his name. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, Rob Van Dam actually eliminated Jack Swagger first, which was... I thought it was surprising. I actually thought in this match, I thought it should have just been Cesaro versus Swagger, but again, I haven't really been keeping up with it. There was what's the word I'm looking for here? A tournament for the Intercontinental Champion, and something went on with that. And, to where Rob Van Dam got, like, interrupted by Swagger and Cesaro, and then they all got in some weird feud or whatever. Like I said, it kind of confusing because I haven't really been, in the loo or, watching it pretty much. But this match was actually really good. It had a lot of good spots in it. Cesaro really showed off his strength in it. The one part where, like, he did Swagger wasn't even on the top rope, okay? Swagger was, like, on the outside of the turnbuckle, on the bottom turnbuckle, and, like, Cesaro just used all of his fucking strength to suplex him off the where he was on the turnbuckle. It was amazing. Then right after that, RVD like did a frog splash to him and eliminated Swagger. And the match with Cesaro and Van Dam was okay at that point. There could have been a bit more awesome moments. There was an awesome moment where RVD went kind of, vintage and jumped off the apron and hit Cesaro while he was laying on the barricade. He always, used to do that in ECW and whenever there's an Extreme Rules match, or just in general, I think he does it. He also did a Van Daminator with a trash can, which was kind of cool. I think he did anyways. I can't remember off the top of my head. Today's the next day after the pay-per-view. Today's the 5th. But yeah, it was a general awesome match. What would I give it out of stars? Let's see here. I'd give it about a solid 3. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was definitely a good match. I'd give it a solid 3 out of 5. But yeah, that's just what I would give it. It was a pretty decent match. If you'd like to watch it, then I definitely recommend watching it. The next match was a little disappointing. It lasted for 2 minutes and 53 seconds, a 2-on-1 handicap match. Let me get into that a little bit later. This was Alexander Rusev with Lana, of course, defeated R-Truth and Xavier Woods by submission. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did I announce who won the last match? I'm all over the place. I am so sorry. Cesaro won the last match, if I didn't say that already. But yeah, it was Alexander Rusev with Lana defeated R-Truth and Xavier Woods by submission. Yeah, a 2-on-1 handicap match. Okay, see this. And this is what really pisses me off, because the pay-per-views seem to always end like 15 minutes fucking early. You really couldn't have made this into a match. You pay $60 for a pay-per-view, or $9.99 a month if you have the network. But it was even worse when you paid $16 bucks a month whenever a pay-per-view came out, if you paid for all of them. But anyways, you could have honestly made this match longer and actually gave a little bit build up to this feud. This was ridiculous. It's not that the match was absolute crap, because it wasn't. I'm not going to give it a 1 out of 5, because R-Truth actually he stood ground against Alexander Rusev, which was pretty cool. He did a couple of spins and stuff in the match, which, R-Truth does from time to time. I think he did it a lot more in TNA, though, but that could just be him getting old. But, why? This isn't even a 2-on-1. Okay, so what happened was Rusev came out and decimated, he threw like R-Truth to the side for a second, like, and made him hit the turnbuckle or whatever. I think. I can't remember. Again, I can't remember off the top of my head. But he threw R-Truth out of the way. Then he just started wailing on Xavier Woods, and Xavier Woods was out there pretty much throughout the entire match. So it was just a 1-on-1 between R-Truth and Xavier Woods. Like, you're supposed to be pushing your new talent, WWE. What the fuck? Like, Xavier Woods has been doing shit throughout the entire time he's been here, and I really enjoyed his first match. Like, the first match that he had with R-Truth in a tag team match, and he did his Morphin' Time, thing, and his finisher and all that stuff. I think his finisher is actually kind of unique. It's just an awesome boot to the face. It's like he like forces you into his boot or whatever, and it just looks kind of painful, but it looks kind of cool at the same time. I don't know really how to describe it. But I would just wish they would push Xavier Woods, because he actually looks interesting, and he's the only black guy on the roster that actually is going for a PhD. I think he's like the only wrestler. I could be wrong. I could obviously be wrong. But I think he's been like maybe the second or maybe only third wrestler to get his PhD. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. He's a smart guy, and yet you're treating him like shit, like an idiot. It's really depressing. I would actually like to see him in action more, and yet you have a guy who's big as fuck, obviously. Gotta be a big guy. Vince McMahon and Triple H. Here we go again with the big guys. Fucking decides to go ahead, and he's just gonna wind up like Umaga or something. Like, he's gonna go on a roll for a while, and then he's just gonna fall off and be terrible afterwards, because WWE doesn't know what to do with their big guys after they have had a small run, apparently. Same thing happened to Ryback, only I actually like Ryback. The only thing I like about Rusev so far is that he's kind of athletic, and that he has an awesome theme song. I like his theme song. It's catchy. But anyways, yeah, why? This match could have been so much more, yet it wasn't. It could have, honestly, you could have showed off Rusev's power by making it literally a 2-on-1, but no, of course not. You have to take out one fucking person, obviously Xavier Woods, because he's the new guy, right? Anyways, this match, I'll give it like a fucking 2 out of 5. I don't know. It was just really depressing, but the thing that holds it, I guess, together, like I said, is R-Truth actually putting on a decent show. Would have been a 2.5 if Xavier Woods actually had done something and the match was longer, but of course no, to that. But anyways, yeah, then the next match was Wade Barrett versus Big E Langston for the Intercontinental Championship, because Wade Barrett was he won the tournament. There we go. Um, and this match lasted for 7 minutes and 55 seconds. I actually thought it went a little bit longer than that, but I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, Bad News Barrett defeated Big E Langston and is the 4-time Intercontinental Champion now. Which, it's nice to see Wade Barrett as a champion, but come on, WWE, make him a World Heavyweight Champion by now, or something else. Not the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, because good God, that is a stupid fucking name. And two, I just wish the belts were separated now. Can we please separate the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships? Please. WWE, separate them. We don't need a bunch of people being undisputed champions like fucking Chris Jericho, okay? You took Chris Jericho's moment and you shoved it into the fucking dirt. I was okay when you did it with one person, and honestly, it should have been Daniel Bryan in the fucking first place, but no, they did it with Randy Orton, which I guess is okay. I don't really think he deserves it, to be honest, but whatever, because he's been crap lately. Like, Randy Orton does a decent job in the ring, but like in terms of promos and what he's been doing lately, he just hasn't been the same since like, I don't know, 2009, 2008. I can't remember the last big feud he had. I think it was with John Cena. I could be wrong though. Like I said, I don't know. This match could have been just, I don't know. The match itself was okay, but I'm just upset that Bad News Barrett, I'm sorry, because he's not called Wade Barrett anymore, but Bad News Barrett would actually win like a championship or something. This was actually, like I said though, actually I won't say it's decent. I actually will say that this match was pretty good. It had a bunch of, like, Wade Barrett kept up, really, I'm going to keep going back and forth between Wade Barrett and Bad News Barrett. But anyways, Wade Barrett actually was really speedy in this match. Like, he kept up with Big E, who is actually a kind of speedy big guy. Wade Barrett actually avoided a crap ton of his attacks and used Big E's weight against him a lot and stuff. It was just a very interesting match, so I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it definitely was a decent match to watch. And if you want to watch it, if you're a fan of either Big E or Bad News Barrett, then by all means watch the match. Oh boy, oh no, actually I have water this time. If you excuse me, I'm going to take a quick water break. Yeah, that water, that H2O. Anyways, the next match, which is probably the match of the night, and I don't see how the match after this is longer than this match, because this match felt like it was... The sound I just made was kind of funny. I'm sorry. I had to repeat the sound I made. But anyways, The next match goes on for 21 minutes and 26 seconds. The match that I'm about to talk about goes on for 19 minutes and 56 seconds. The match I'm about to talk about is probably the match of the night, and it felt like it was a lot longer. Because, sometimes the Wikipedia times, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, page for this pay-per-view. And sometimes they actually correct the times later. You never know. The times can be changed later on Wikipedia. Either someone did the times wrong or I don't know. Anyways, this match felt like it was the longest match of the night, to be honest. I don't see how the other matches were longer, to be honest. I gotta stop saying to be honest, but I don't see how the other matches were longer. Like, this one seemed like the longest match of the night, but whatever. The match that I am talking about, to finally actually say something about it, was The Shield versus Evolution in a six-man tag team match. Holy crap, this match was awesome. It was probably the best match of the night. There were a ton of spots in this match. I can't, name them all, but probably one of my most favorite ones is at the end of the match. So, like, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, Triple H, and Randy Orton go out into the crowd, right? They're, like, having a crowd brawl and whatever, fighting out in the crowd and stuff. And they get to this one area where they take out Seth Rollins, and then they go down this... They throw Dean Ambrose down the stairs, actually, which is kind of funny. Dean Ambrose kind of botched it a little bit by not rolling completely down the stairs. He kind of just tumbled down the stairs, but... very slowly in an awkward fashion as if he was drunk. But anyways, Triple H and Randy Orton just started beating the crap out of Dean Ambrose, and you're like wondering where the fuck is Seth Rollins, and then like Seth Rollins just jumps out of the crowd from like a higher balcony out of nowhere and jumps on all three of them to stop, you know, them from beating up Dean and everything. And it was just the most awesome spot ever, probably throughout the entire show, other than the one where Dean, like, he ran from the Spanish announce table to the, you know, regular announce table, to then jumping off of the regular announce table to hitting Triple H and I think Randy Orton. Yeah, Triple H and Randy Orton in the face. This was at the end of the match. The last 2 men in the match were Roman Reigns and what's the word I'm looking for here? Roman Reigns and Batista, also known as Bautista. But anyways, yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of the third member of Evolution. That was pretty depressing. Anyways, but yeah, the match was just awesome. It had a lot of good spots. What else can I talk about this match? Jesus. You guys, you just really have to watch this match. It was the best match of the night. It is probably the one you want to watch the most. Would I give this match? I'd say a 4 out of 5, maybe a 4.5 out of 5. It was a really fucking good match, though I won't say it was perfect. The crowd chanted, "This is awesome," like, once, okay? Like, they chanted it once or twice, maybe, at the end of the match. It wasn't throughout the entire match, you know. The beginning of the match started off really, really slow. Then the middle and end picked up really nicely. So that is why it only gets a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5. If it was like that throughout the entire fucking match, then it probably would have gotten maybe possibly a 5. Or just exactly a 4.5. I'm a little undecided. I'd say a 4, maybe a 4.5, like I said. But anyways... yeah, it was a really great match. There were a lot of back and forths at the end too, which was really awesome. And the way Roman, because the Shield won, the way Roman won, it was just really awesome. I think Batista came out of nowhere with a spine buster, and like, you know, planted him or whatever, and then Roman got back up. Superman punched him out of fucking nowhere and then speared him. It was awesome. I was actually happy that the Shield won that match too, because I was like, Evolution's gonna, if they stay for a while, Evolution is gonna win a couple of matches anyways. I'd rather see the Shield win these first couple bouts, because you know it's Evolution's first time back. They're a little, you know, is it just me, or is Randy Orton the only person that's still in shape, by the way, in that group? Because good lord, okay, you got Triple H here, and he's got like his flabby fucking stomach or whatever. Which has, because I don't think he's never been a man that has had abs in the first place, but he's got like his little flabby stomach and his flabby muscular pecs. He's not fat, I'm just saying he's clearly not in shape compared to how he used to be. And then you got fucking Batista here, who I guess tried to, because he was really skinny compared to the regular WWE Batista when he first was in WWE. He was skinny-ish. Because he, you know, had to go fight for MMA, which didn't really obviously work out. But he did MMA training and stuff. So he lost a lot of body fat and just had a lot of muscle. Then he comes back and I guess tries to put on the body fat that he had before, but it doesn't really work out because all he's doing is just like fucking wrinkles, man. Every time he runs, it's just a bunch of wrinkles. Randy Orton's just sitting here like, man, I'm still doing this shit. I'm still hitting the gym and stuff. You guys are lame. But yeah, that's just, I don't know, Evolution, man. Just, it's cool that they're back, but just, I don't know. They were obviously a lot better from before, and I just wish Triple H would just grow his fucking hair back. But anyways, alright, so the next match was a steel cage match. You guys should know after I said that, you guys should know what match this is. But Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. This match, unfortunately, was a little bit of a letdown. It was a decent match, don't get me wrong, but it was a little bit of a letdown because it wasn't storytelling. It wasn't really doing a good job at storytelling like the WrestleMania one did. The WrestleMania one was just amazing because there was so much more storytelling than actual wrestling going on in the match. It was unique. This one had very little storytelling in it, besides maybe the very end of it. And Bray Wyatt actually talked a lot of shit during the match, but that's what he usually does. I don't know. It showed off a lot less of Bray's in-ring wrestling ability because at WrestleMania it was just Bray and Cena for the most part. I mean, yeah, I think maybe Eric and Rowan, or Eric Rowan and I'm sorry, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. There we go. I think maybe they interrupted maybe once or twice in the WrestleMania one, but it was mainly Bray and Cena throughout the entire thing. And I don't know, it was just it could have been better. I'm not gonna give this. I'm gonna say 3 out of 5. I don't know. It wasn't. I don't know. Maybe even a 2.5 out of 5. It was not as good as the WrestleMania one. The WrestleMania one is a lot better. Even though Bray Wyatt actually wins this match. The ending of the match, I will say, is what saves this from being just a straight up 2. It is about a 2.5, maybe a 3. What really saves this match is the end, though, because the end is just simply awesome. How, like, Cena's, like, trying to get out of the cage, and then, like, this child comes out of nowhere. I think his name now is Little Johnny or whatever. But the child comes out of nowhere. This kid comes out of nowhere. I gotta stop saying child. This kid comes out of nowhere, and just when John Cena's about to leave the cage door, just starts talking in this creepy voice, and I think he's singing the what was the song that they sang on Raw? Actually, I forgot what is it? It's not I forgot the name of the song. That's depressing. That's really depressing. But he started singing the song that Bray Wyatt and them had the kids sing on Raw. You guys know what I'm talking about if you saw that Raw or Extreme Rules. Which in that case, I don't know, maybe, I don't know why you're watching this, maybe you just want to hear people's opinions, I guess, of the show, but, and if that's the case, then that's cool, though, but, yeah, I think that the match just wasn't that great, besides the end of the match. What happened was that, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan just kept interrupting the match over and over again, to one point where Luke Harper, gets thrown inside the cage and everything, and he's in there, and I'm just like, this is kind of silly. Why isn't it just Bray and Cena duking out at it? I think the main reason that this match is 21 minutes and fucking 26 seconds is because it got interrupted so many times, and there's so many pauses in the match. It's just like, why isn't anybody doing anything? It's just being dragged out at this point. Anyways, yeah, in my opinion, the Shield match with Evolution is, in my opinion, wrestling-wise, the longest match in this entire show. Then finally you have, or not finally, but second to last, you have the Divas Championship match, which I totally actually forgot about. It was Paige and Tamina Snuka, and the match was 6 minutes and 18 seconds. I feel like this match should have been longer, maybe 8 minutes. The match itself was decent, and you could tell Paige and Tamina were really fucking trying. I actually just read the Bleacher Report, article not too long ago. You could tell that they were trying, but unfortunately, it just wasn't. I don't know. Like, apparently, some things were botched here and there, and oh yeah, the referee counted to 3 at one point when Tamina kicked out. She kicked out. But the referee still came down for 3, and I was just like, she kicked out, right? And Paige was confused because she thought she won. At least Paige actually gave she didn't look confused. She actually gave a really good surprised reaction, but then she realized that she didn't win already. The one part where, Tamina hits Paige's head against the barricade is kind of cool because Paige tried to do a Hurricanrana on her, but obviously Tamina's too big for that shit. She just kind of muscled her way out of it and just slams Paige's head against the barricade, which was a nice spot. You can tell that they tried, but some of the moves were just kind of botched. Another good thing to point out, though, was with the point when Paige, fucking, I think she powerbombs Tamina. Yeah, she does. She powerbombs Tamina from the turnbuckle, which was kind of cool. But overall, the match just, it could have been a lot better. But I actually am surprised by the performance of Tamina because she's usually shown as a powerhouse, which generally she was in this match. Um, but she actually, most powerhouse versus fast people, or I don't want to say talented because the powerhouse could actually be talented too. But most matches where it's a person that has a lot of energy in them and is a fast paced person, Jesus Christ, versus a powerhouse, it just usually they're kind of boring. This match was okay. I'll give it like a 2.5 out of 5. It could have been, like I said, a lot better, but there were some things that were bleh about the match. Um, Anyways, the last match is Daniel Bryan versus Kane, the Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which again is a fucking stupid name. Please call it the United Championship. I think that was one of the choices, Unified Championship. Why didn't anybody pick that? Like, I think people did, but then it somehow still got called the World Heavyweight Champ. What the fuck? I if honestly that is what you people fucking, if that is what, okay, I won't say you people because I know some people probably voted against for the other things, but if honestly, if some of you people voted for WWE World Heavyweight Championship, I swear to God you must be under the age of like 15. I'm sorry. Who in their right mind would think that is a good name for the unified belts? But anyways, yeah, I have to even say unified belts. What the anyways. This match went on for 22 minutes and 44 seconds. The only reason I think it even went on for that long is because there's a lot of slowdown spots where they're hurt from the weapons, I guess, and they don't get back up as fast, and they're just kind of laying there. Kane did a great job at looking like a monster, like from back in the day. He took a bunch of chair shots and just a bunch of weapon shots, and just immediately came back at Daniel Bryan. Got back up really quickly, didn't stay on the ground for very too long. There was this one part though when Daniel Bryan hits Kane with a wrench and he lands close to a little lift cart thing. It's a vehicle and it lifts. Is it actually just called a lift? Anyways, he lands like on the lift, right, or at least near it, and like Daniel Bryan hit him in the face with a wrench, and I'm like, or like a pipe or whatever, and I'm like, didn't he get hit by something similar to that on Raw? Why didn't he get back up after that? Which Kane did fall and try to get back up, but then Daniel Bryan kept hitting him with it. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not going to be out for too fucking long. And then, like, he puts him on the lift, right? And drives him, because they're backstage at this point, by the way. I'm sorry to not mention that before. They're backstage when all this is happening, because they, left the ring and went backstage. And fucking Daniel Bryan puts him on the lift, and this portion of the match takes up, like, fucking 2 minutes. He's driving Kane out to the ring and shit, and I'm just like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. Kane should have gotten up at some point during this time, which is actually kind of funny because when Daniel Bryan lifts Kane and on the car or whatever, the lift machine, whatever, when Daniel Bryan pushes him off the machine, fucking Kane sits up when Daniel Bryan's about to do the running knee, and I just thought that was kind of funny, because Daniel Bryan was still trying to do it, but Kane actually caught him in mid-run, which was kind of cool, because Daniel Bryan's legs flung forward, and, he made it look like he actually was about to hit him, but then, Kane did the choke slam, and Daniel Bryan kicked out after that, though. One of the more depressing things about this match is that, I was surprised. Okay, no, I'll say it again. I'm surprised that a match with a big person was actually fairly decent. Because usually they are just not that great. Unless you're Goldberg or maybe Triple H or Brock Lesnar has had a good couple of matches lately. Other than the WrestleMania one, which is not, something that, again, I'm not going to keep bringing up. Because if I bring it up, I'm going to fucking start ranting about it. Anyways. Fuck that match. But anyways. Whew. But yeah, big people can have good matches and stuff. It's just like, I'm surprised that the match was actually good, because Kane tends to have a methodical pace to him and everything, and, not run fast and just kind of not keep up with his competition for the most part, because he's a slow powerhouse kind of guy. But overall, the match was, pretty decent for the most part. It wasn't terrible, although I will say, as I was about to mention earlier, I'm just so disappointed, because there was this one fucking spot where Kane actually lights a table on fire, and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome, and people start chanting ECW and holy shit or whatever, I guess. And Kane lit it on fire, which was actually kind of funny. I guess he didn't put enough oil on one side of the table because like it didn't want to light, so he had to like light the other side of the table and then it lit on fire. They could have did something awesome with that fucking flaming table because it was sitting outside the ring closer to the the announcer table. But like they could have did something awesome with it, like Daniel Bryan doing a running knee and hitting Kane and him flipping over the ropes and then landing into the table or something like that. But instead they were just fighting on the apron and all Daniel Bryan does is shove Kane on the table. And then and what made it worse is that the guy with the fire hydrant just comes out of nowhere and sprays the fucking, hydrant everywhere. Or the fire, hydrant. What the fuck? The, fire extinguisher. There we go. He comes out of nowhere with the fire extinguisher and sprays it fucking everywhere. Even though literally the first 3 seconds of him spraying put out the fire. Oh my god. Anyways. And like, after the fire was out, he kept spraying it everywhere, and it got all over Kane, and Kane, I guess, got, like, shit in his eyes or whatever. So the fire hydrant guy kind of fucked it up or whatever, but I guess that's not really to blame, because then after Kane got back in the ring, he turned to Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan did the running knee and won, so Daniel Bryan is the victor. But, I just thought that was so lame. I was like, you could have did something really awesome with that flaming table, and instead they just did something shitty with it. But anyways, but yeah, the match overall, though, I will say is about a good solid 3.5. It was a decent match, a little bit more than decent, because, I gave it a 3.5. Overall, this entire pay-per-view, what would I give it? I'd say maybe a 70 out of 100. If I was going to give it an overall out of 100 score, it'd be a 70 out of 100. If it's out of a 10 score, then it's a 7 out of 10, obviously. I don't know, like, I kind of even want to give it a 6.5 out of 10, because just there were so many moments where, like, it could have been better, and the match that's really holding this pay-per-view up is the, Evolution match, pretty much, or the, Shield and Evolution match, pretty much, but, and the second match, well, technically the first match, because I'm not counting the pre-show, but yeah, just overall, the pay-per-view could have been a bit better, but it's not the worst pay-per-view ever, and it's not the shittiest pay-per-view ever. It actually had some good moments in it. Again, maybe a 6, 7-ish, I'd say, maybe. But overall, like I said, it wasn't too bad, it's not the worst thing ever. If you guys want to watch the pay-per-view, if you have some way of watching it, then I definitely recommend watching it, if not for the first match with Cesaro and Rob Van Dam and Swagger. The Bad News Barrett match with Big E, like I said, was okay, and the Shield match in Evolution is a must watch. But anyways, yeah, so if you enjoyed my review, if you agreed with what I said, be sure to leave a like and, comment down below. And, if you enjoy my content and stuff, then you should, give me more likes and comments and subscribes and stuffs. And, yeah, stay sexy. Peace.